revalve on a 6500 kit today. This is my personal bike. Pretty much what I did was throw the stock 6500 kit numbers in there, and some 5.2 springs. So it's a little rigid right now, halfway through the stroke. So we're gonna revalve it today. See how good we can get it. We're doing an off-road race in 2 days, so revalve it, test it a little bit tomorrow, and then save myself for Sunday. So hopefully we can figure these forks out a little bit. First thing, tear these forks off the bike and then tear them down, and then we'll go from there. That's broken. Alright, so here's all the fork components torn down. There's the tubes. These are the spring perches, the spring seat, so this will sit into the fork lug, and then this little plastic piece is what the spring will sit onto, and then adjusting rods. And then here's the cartridge tubes. So most of the time when you do a revalve, you can just take the lock nut off the bottom of the rod and then just pop the mid-valve assembly off and out of the tube. But on a 6500 kit, this mid-valve will hit the tube right there, so you have to take the seal head off on the end here. And it'll be a pain in the butt because they Loctite the crap out of that, and then your seal sits in there, your bushing sits in there. These little yellow O-rings sit on there too. So you don't want to heat it up too much to where you're going to melt those. You have to heat it up enough to loosen that Loctite, but not too much to where you damage things. And if you don't heat it up enough, you could fight this rod coming apart right here, because this is threaded on right here too. I probably should get the clamp that clamps onto this tube here, but I usually just do it the old school way, and put the preload wrench on the end of that, put it in the vise like that, and then as you turn it, it hits the handle hits on the vise right here. So if you don't heat that up enough, this will want to turn. And I had a little bit of an issue with one of these doing that. So another thing I did find was when I took this base valve off, that O-ring was stuck in the bottom of the valving. So that's all torn, and that's kind of what I get for just dropping these in. I didn't tear them down. I didn't tear the cartridges down before I threw them in my bike. I just got them and threw them in because they come with oil and everything ready to go. So I should have torn them down. At the very least, I should have put my 5-weight oil in, but I didn't. So that's kind of what I get. So now I will break down this valving, lay it down, and then go through kind of my valving process of what I'm going to do here. I'll kind of go through what I'm changing, why I'm changing it. Overall, I'm getting to about halfway through the stroke and it gets super harsh. And I feel like the rebound valving is too fast. And then the mid valve there's too much dampening there. So I'm going to free it up a little bit. Like I said, we have that race in 2 days. It's an off-road race. I usually do motocross style stuff, but yeah, I'm going to soften these up a little bit. I might even put softer springs in, but we'll see. So, all right, base valve nut coming off here. So I got the shim stock all laid out. What we did was, since it is stiff in that like halfway through the stroke, took out some mid valve damping, added some rebound damping, which if it is going deeper in the stroke now, I might regret that, but these 6500s with the 5.2s feel pretty springy, even at 9 out on rebound. Added just a little bit there, and then moved some shims around in the base valve. Their base valving is kind of funky, so moved some stuff around. I think I might still change some in that, but keeping the 18 Newton meter base valve spring, pressure spring, high level. It's kind of what we did. Gonna throw them back together. Hopefully ride tomorrow, test them out a little bit, and racing on Sunday. So, all right, cartridges are back together. Now I just gotta put base valves back in the rods, do a little hand test, and then throw them all back together. All right, got the cartridge in. I got that fork done. Got ahead of myself a little bit. So now put this spring perch on, throw that in the fork, and then, yeah, throw it all back together. Okay, we're gonna put 385 cc's in this one. I didn't change out the seals or clean that spring, so the residual oil is also on there, so that'll add a little bit. But so we're gonna start off with 385. All right, guys, done with 6500 kit. Everything's on the bike. I gotta do some other stuff like air filter, oil. I gotta tighten my chain, lube my chain. Just kind of prep it really quick. But yeah, overall went pretty smooth. The valving was so stiff. The mid to end of the stroke was very stiff. So just made it a little more plush throughout the whole stroke. So the valving was a little funky. So I put more of a traditional stack in there. We'll see how it takes it. Somewhat new to these 6500 kits, so I've done a few of them, but none for myself. So a big reason why I got this bike was to test the suspension out. So started with the air forks, did some settings on that. Switched over to a single side spring version, did some testing on that. gold valves, did all that. So figured we'd try the 6500 kit, get some settings. We're kind of in the off-road season right now, so gonna do testing on this. Sunday will be a very good test. I am taking it to a motocross track tomorrow, so it might not be a great test, but I'm gonna show up a little later in the day, so hopefully the square edge stuff and the chop that we have up here will be a little more compliant, not as harsh. So we'll see. I'll check in with you after the race on Sunday and see how it is. But yeah, I'm excited to try this out, get some more settings developed. I know we'll do some Washougal testing. I know we're going there a few times this year. We got some sand tracks up here. So in the PNW, we got a lot of variations. So a lot of resources at our fingertips. And yeah, we'll check in with you on Sunday. Hopefully it went well. All right, here's the post-race bike. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Caked on there. Just caked. Look at that. Jeez. All right, post-race thoughts. It was definitely better. I finally got through this part of the stroke before it would hit this and then just stop. I feel like, I might have to do my fork seals. I feel like I finally blow through this part of the stroke. It's definitely more plush, but it can be better. I think it went in the right direction. I think I want a little bit more hold up. It is definitely soft now. I should add some damping to that first few inches of travel and then keep the rest of it softer, because we're in the right direction, but not quite there yet. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. That was a revalve on a 6500 kit. We're kind of getting into more of the moto season, so I'll definitely revalve this again soon. Yeah, put a little bit more of a moto setup, a little more hold up is what I need. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Now I gotta wash this thing. So thanks guys.